Today, a couple of Bolt owners are going to test drive a Tesla Model Y. We're on our way up to the Fort Worth, Texas Tesla Service Center on University Drive. I made an appointment last night, like real late last night, to go demo a Tesla Model Y. I've not driven a Tesla Model Y. I've only sat in one in a showroom. I've got some experience with a Model 3, but it was an older Model 3 that had a lot of miles and a lot of wear and tear. And you haven't ever really ridden in a Tesla.
That is true. My brother has one, but I've never really taken a ride in it, so...
Both of your brothers have one.
That's true. My two brothers both have Teslas. It's the kind of family I have.
Yeah. And they don't even live anywhere near each other, but...
That's true.
Anyway, so we're going to go check it out. We've heard that, well, I've heard that, it's not like a normal car dealership, so we should just be able to test drive this car, say thank you, and be on our way without any kind of problems. I've made the appointment online through the Tesla app last night. Got a confirmation text. Just a few minutes ago, I got a text asking to upload the pictures of our driver's licenses and do an e-signature on it. So we should all be good. Just show up and say, hi, we're Luke and Rachel, and they should have a car ready for us.
That should be great for me because I am notoriously very unhappy in car dealerships, and I can be not fun to be around. So hopefully if there's no high pressure sales and no long waiting around periods, it will be I'll be a little bit less difficult.
We are in a brand new Model Y long range in Midnight Silver Metallic, which is currently the only color that doesn't have an extra upcharge to it from Tesla with the black interior, but they did upgrade the wheels on this. We've got 325 miles of range, which I'm going to guess that's going to put us around 99% state of charge. This car is full. We could do quite a bit. But yeah, you tap here, you've got your range and state of charge available. Our sales associates, or SA, recommended to us that we go, what's that, south? We're going to go south on University to Interstate 30, and then we're going to go west, and that way we'll get a little bit of surface street and freeway driving. But notice, yeah, it's giving us our blind spot because the turn signal light's on right there. I didn't check to see if this has the hardware for. I should have checked that.
The hardware for what?
Camera right there. Hardware 4.
Hardware 4.
It's it's a system upgrade.
Hardware for what?
And I don't think I'm going to be able to make a left here. I'm going to make a right, and then I'm going to turn around.
That sounds like a great idea.
Had to do.
Yep. That was the acceleration, in case you couldn't tell at home.
And
Camera tilted because I was pushed back in my seat.
That was not full acceleration either.
Of course not.
It was about 3/4.
I mean, those of you who know about EVs already know this, and you've heard it a million times, but if by any chance you have not yet experienced the acceleration of an electric vehicle, you should know that it is significant, and it's a lot of fun.
And if you would like to experience the sensation of acceleration in an electric vehicle, talk to a friend of yours that has one, because I guarantee you they will show it to you happily.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to do for people that haven't been in the car before.
All right, let's check the turning radius here.
All right.
And see how we do going around this this light post. So maybe about a car width away.
Okay, a light post.
Crank the wheel.
It's pretty tight. That's pretty tight.
Yeah.
It's at least as tight as the Bolt. I think it might be tighter.
Might be tighter. I mean,
seems like it to me.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty tight turning radius. So this could U-turn on a pretty narrow street.
Yeah.
This screen. As I recall, it used to be down here, but now it's further up. It's easier to see your blind spot. So that's the camera on the front fender well that's pointing backwards that gives you blind spot monitoring, and it activates whenever you turn on your turn signal.
That's pretty smart.
And up here, you've got real-time animation of cars around you. It's just showing you what the vehicle sees, but now I've got a turn signal on. So I've got speed limit displayed there, and over here is going to be where the speed is, but since we're not moving, it's just saying hold.
Yeah, so just in case you've never been in a Tesla before, there's literally no dash display.
There's no instrument cluster in front of the driver.
Nothing. Everything is done here.
And if I go here and... Oh, no, wait. Let's go here. This is how you adjust the AC vent. So you can just tap there and get the air how you want it. And it's dual zone climate control, so I can have a separate temperature than you.
All right, let's change that because I don't want it to be 68. Let's make it 72. 72 for me.
And then you can just adjust there and move the air where you want it.
Oh, look, it has a little animation of the air.
Uh-huh.
I'll have it go up. Nice.
And that saves to your profile. So when you get in the car and you select your profile, it puts that up automatically, as well as the positioning of the driver's seat, where you have the steering wheel and the outside mirrors set.
Cool.
Oh my gosh, it's got the cones
on
the screen.
It sees the little cones. This is interesting. So it's the cameras see the cones and then they like draw an animation of it. Like, this computer's busy, man. It's literally drawing animations for you. That's crazy.
It feels heavier because than the Bolt. We drove here in the Bolt, so that's going to be the direct comparison, right?
Yeah.
But it does not float. I've got decent road feel, but I can change that in the settings if I wanted to. I think I can. Got a red light here. One pedal drive is on. Let it come to a complete stop without all that stuff. So controls, lights, display, trips, navigation, safety, service, software.
We got a green light.
Okay, well, I'll just do that later.
We could always pull over and play with it if you want to.
When I took that trip last summer to Colorado in the Model 3, one of the things that I noticed was that I not only felt the road, but I felt every bump. It was almost jarring. The car had a really sporty suspension, which was great for handling and cornering and stuff like that, but when you're just wanting to cruise on the freeway, and I'm pretty sure that it was an adjustment in the settings that he made that firmed it up that way. It may have just been in the drive mode.
So yeah, when you went to Colorado, you were in a Model 3.
It was in a Model 3, and it was a 2019. So that's controls. Well, steering mode is in standard, acceleration's in standard. There's lots of different things that I can set up here, but we won't do that. Just turn that off and start driving again.
Driving's good. I recommend paying attention when you drive.
And I'm going to see. There we go. This is in Autopilot. All I'm doing is applying pressure to the steering wheel. And it is seeing this truck and the red light in front of me and stopping on its own. I am not putting anything on the pedals at all. This car is driving itself right now. But of course it can't see the lane marker, so I had to kind of guide it there a little bit. But yeah, this is the amount of pressure that I'm keeping on it. The blue steering wheel there lets you know that Autopilot is engaged. And I've set it at 43. If I knock this down, I've lowered the set cruise speed down to 40, so now it's set at the speed limit, and that was just by moving this wheel here, and that adjusted.
What wheel?
this wheel here, the right wheel on the steering wheel. And I've got to take control of the car back because I need to get, I could have done an auto lane change, and I'll do that when I get on the freeway.
Botanic Gardens.
Oh, and
Fort Worth.
Adaptive cruise control took over again. The adaptive cruise control did not turn off when I took the wheel and stepped on the accelerator. So it would sit back at that speed. And now we're going to get on Interstate 30. I'll slow down here for a second, and now I'm going to floor it.
Ugh. Oh my God. Yeah, it just has a lot more power than you even usually need. It's kind of ridiculous. Anytime you drive a normal gas-powered engine, you can floor it, and even if it's a sports car and it has a lot of torque, you might go fast, but there's always a little lag. There's lag between when you hit the accelerator and the engine spools up and then the power happens. But in an electric vehicle, it happens instantly.
Okay, right there, that was the car making the lane change on its own, turned the signal light off on its own. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead. That was important.
I just wanted to show you that. The blue lines here are letting me know that autopilot is engaged. I'm going to signal again, and again, all I did was turn on the turn signal. It is watching, the lane is clear, it is moving the car over on its own. I am not turning the wheel, stepping on the accelerator or the brake.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's creepy to me. That's kind of uncanny. I don't like it. I don't think I would use that.
You should probably get your face on camera when you see that.
I'm just saying, I think that would creep me out a little bit if the car was driving for me to that extent. And look,
who does most of the driving when we're doing a long road trip,
always
though?
you. Oh, you do what you want. You do what makes you feel comfortable. But if it were me driving, I would probably not use that. I'm just saying. I'm the kind of person, I either need to pay attention or I just want to be asleep, right? Like, if I can't trust the car to drive for me while I'm sleeping, I don't even want it to be doing diddly squat.
Right.
But go ahead.
Okay, but I do have to have minimum pressure on the steering wheel. I have my hand resting on it, and it is making this turn on its own. The Tahoe in front of us is slowing down, so I'm going to cover the brake pedal just in case. But the car is slowing down. You can see the speed. So the car adjusted its speed because of the traffic in front of us. To me, that's a wonderful thing. I just hit the microphone. To me, that's a wonderful thing in city traffic because I can just leave the cruise control on.
Yeah,
and the car can adjust, and I don't have to be all over like on the Bolt. I've got my thumb on the cancel button, my left finger's on the ready for the regen paddle, and my right foot ready to take over at any point in time. But here you can just let the car handle it. And
that is significant for you because when we're in traffic for long periods of time, it does make your leg really tired.
It does.
That tends to limit the amount of time you can drive because your leg gets tired.
I get a major shin splint.
Yeah.
And all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think, I want to get past 183 up here. We're just on a nice little cruise. And I'm going to get out.
We're supposed to be back in 10 minutes. I'm just saying.
Well,
you said 12, 15.
Okay, you know what? I'll get off here. Off here, and we'll get into the parking lot of the Best Buy.
Okay.
And we'll switch, and you can drive us back.
Okay.
All right. So I'm exit. Turn signals on. It's not navigating.
Hello.
I kind of had to take over. I wouldn't have had to have done it that drastic. That was me. That wasn't the car.
So the car did not auto steer.
Right. So what that tells
over.
me is that this has just the basic autopilot that these cars are going to have. It does not have full self-drive. Full self-drive could navigate on, but I also didn't have navigation on. So maybe it doesn't tell me jack because I didn't have navigation on.
Yeah.
Let's have it navigate you back, and that way we can experience what the navigation's like.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull over here into the parking lot, push in on the end button, and now it's in park. I wanna show the back. So trunk, front. So I opened the trunk from the screen,
You also opened the hood.
and this is, from what I saw, this is proof that this is an Austin-built Model Y, because they have this faux shelf that can be adjusted to come all the way back. It's just, it's set like that right now. But, and then under here, we've got a big old well for storage. I guess that's where you'd put your charging stuff and adapters and roadside kits and whatnot. Little hidey holes over here for tools. Let's go around here. Oh, push the button.
I push button.
And close on itself. Future.
You also opened the hood.
Sorry.
Did you mean
Yes,
to
I
do
did.
that?
I wanted to see the front. So, and
That was interesting. This may be significant. There's no release.
Yeah.
Once it's open, you can just open it. You don't have to feel for the release button like you have in most cars.
right, and you've got the tow hook here in case it ever needs to get pulled. And that could probably fit a carry-on bag in it.
Looks like it might.
So that's not small.
Yeah.
So, you want to close it or do you want me to close it? So hands on both sides of the logo and gently push. And that's it, closed.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and get you in, and I will get over here, and I'm going to go to controls and see if you want to adjust where the steering wheel or the mirrors are. So tell me where you want it. Or if the mirrors are needing adjustment.
Yeah.
Okay, so mirrors, left side. So the left wheel, just move your thumb and it'll move the mirror. Okay, and you,
Wait, is it doing
yeah, push in and it goes to, now it's the right mirror.
I don't understand how to make it go this way.
Push from the center, not on the side. There you
That's
go.
weird. This is really... Okay, I get it now.
And the good thing about this is if it's a hassle, you only have to do it once.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured it out. It was not intuitive at first, but
Okay,
now I get it.
are they set?
I guess.
Is the steering wheel where you want it? Or do you want it?
I should probably push it in a little.
Okay, so you want it in. So in is push this wheel to the right.
All right.
And if you wanted to go down, it's just on the left wheel. All right, you good? All right, so turn that setting off. Okay, I've got to tap the key card here again and push your foot on the brake pedal. And that turns the car on. Once the car is programmed to a phone, you don't have to tap here. By the way, notice your phone is charging.
Oh, is that the magnetic charger
This
there too?
is a wireless charger. This
Sweet.
one's not, but this one is.
That's interesting.
So the passenger side one is a charger. You just set it there and boom. All right. So
Interesting.
off we go. Down on this stick is drive. Up is reverse. And it's just a tap. And
Where am I going?
well, go back out onto this frontage road. Oh wait, I could navigate.
Yeah, that was what you were going to do.
Go ahead and stop for a sec. Hey, they've got the location already set to Tesla, and it is calculating. Okay, so I guess you just get on the freeway here, or get on the frontage road. How's the cornering suspension?
It's fine. I'm paying attention to driving right now. Don't ask me questions. I mean, it's good. The car goes where you want it to go. I'm just not used to it, and I need to kind of get myself comfortable. Yeah, it's easy to drive, for sure.
So you have a tendency to have a heavy right foot.
I do. I just drive a little different than you do. One pedal drive I do have to get used to because it does decelerate slower than I'm used to. So sometimes I have to use the brake even on the Bolt because I do I'm used to decelerating faster when I'm in control of the brake than the one pedal drive does by itself. But that's okay. You can use both. It's not like the brake doesn't work when you're on one pedal drive. It's completely fine.
And on this car, you can adjust how strong the one pedal drive regen braking is.
You can't do that on the Bolt?
Well, that's what the paddle's for. If you want more, you squeeze the paddle.
Okay. Is there a reason to use the paddle instead of the foot brake? Because that's more intuitive for me.
I've gotten lazy on moving my foot. I just use the paddle.
I see. Fair point. Yeah, so if I had a car where I could adjust the driving style of the regenerative braking on one pedal drive, I would do that. But as it stands, I either just take a few minutes to get used to it and adjust my driving style, or I just use the pedal. I just use the brake pedal sometimes, which is completely fine.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I switch cars often enough that I have to readjust my driving style a lot anyway. So, you know, it's not a big deal.
When we get back, there's one thing that I want to do that's an important thing that I did not check. And that's, well, actually, from right here, I can tell I've got room. My knee is not hitting the screen.
Right.
It is not hitting the screen. And I did bump into this corner of the screen on that entire drive in the Model 3 last summer. I was like here with it, but now I've got like an extra inch, maybe 2, and I could even adjust this seat a little bit more and get further away.
I cannot see out of the rearview mirror. I didn't think to adjust that.
You can always just...
I mean, I can see. It's not... Yeah. It's just that I'm used to looking at it and I'm like, I can't see squat. Doesn't do me any good right now. Now, normally, in a normal car, you would reach up and adjust it manually, but I'm guessing
well, this one you can adjust.
This one you can adjust. Yeah. Having to figure out how to do that on a screen while you're driving, very bad idea.
Yeah, well, you're not. I am.
Correct. I'm just saying if you were in the car by yourself.
There's your rear view.
Okay. That's not super helpful. I'd rather just look in the mirror. But, I mean, to be fair, that's something that I probably should have adjusted when I got in the car. I just didn't think of it. I'm just too busy trying to figure out how to adjust the side view mirrors. This is the kind of thing, it's not hard. You just have to take a minute to learn your car. Yeah, see, this is starting to bug me that I look in the rearview mirror and there's nothing there, and I want to just reach out and adjust it, but I'm guessing you're not supposed to.
No, you can then. You can with that.
All right. Now, there's not a very good view, which, of course, is why they have all the cameras.
That's why they have all the cameras.
Yeah. Nice view of downtown Fort Worth. I want to see that. It's bringing up a lot of memories for me. I grew up in Fort Worth. Driven in this area quite a lot, but not lately.
Sometimes it pops the car up on the screen when it sees it. Sometimes.
Oh, when it sees the car in front of us.
If they get too close turning in front of us, they do. Yeah. It knows that this van's right next to it.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's a bus, and it's a bus,
yeah.
But it's thinking it's a van.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it shows the little cars. Yeah, I don't know. In a way, that's a little distracting. Like, I'd rather just look at what's actually happening in front of me. But it's nice to know that it can show you things that you can't easily see, you know.
500 feet, make a U-turn to stay on Forest Park Boulevard.
Wow!
No.
Here we go.
Well, we proved the U-turn capability.
Works great. That is something that you can trust. In an electric vehicle, you're going to get an acceleration, you're going to get acceleration, and you're going to get maneuverability. That's something you can rely on, which is very helpful in traffic like this, when you might have to make a decision quick and then just go. That's something that I notice a lot when I've switched from one of the electric vehicles to my gas-powered Subaru. I have to be more careful in driving like that. You can't make split-second decisions quite so confidently because you're just not going to have the acceleration and maneuverability. So it really is much safer to have.
1,000 feet, take the University Drive ramp on the right.
Okay, I'll do it. Thanks. Yeah, it is much safer to be able to rely on your car to get where you want to go
now
quickly.
Take the University Drive ramp on the right.
And that was something I always loved about my Subaru, is that it was maneuverable and it did have quick pickup.
Turn right onto South University Drive.
Compared to other cars I had driven in the past. But the EV just blows it away on that front.
Now turn right onto South University Drive.
She has a friendly voice.
She does. Aw, this son just does not know where he's going.
Well, he's giving you room.
Thank you, appreciate that. Let's see if we can get through here. Yeah, that's one of the things that they talked about a lot, like when we first started buying Subarus, was that the acceleration and maneuverability of the car makes it safer, and the airbags are really superfluous because you're not going to get in a wreck, because you have the ability to avoid wrecks that way. And that was something we always appreciated about our Subarus, but the electric vehicles just do that part of the job of a car so much better than gas-powered vehicles, and it just gives you a lot of confidence. And you can be like bad at navigating like I am, but because your car is so responsive, it's very easy to change your mind and just look and make sure no one's going to hit you and then just vroom over there real quick. You know what I mean?
One of the things that I just noticed that we hadn't commented on
What's that?
is this glass roof.
Yeah.
I hadn't even noticed it.
I don't
the
know why
drive.
they have it. You don't really pay attention to it. Like,
But
I
it's
think, you know,
nice when you want it. You go,
I guess.
Oh, hey.
Vroom. Yay. Woohoo. I mean, it is fun, for sure. It's fun. And I am not, I mean, I drive a little lead foot, I drive a little racy, which is weird because I'm not the type of person that loves cars and loves driving. I really would much prefer someone else drove and I can sleep or look at the scenery or what have you. But I do appreciate a car that goes. Yeah, we're going a lot faster than we're supposed to, so I'm going to slow down a
Yeah,
little.
it's hard to tell how fast we were going.
It is. It's so smooth.
It's a very
Yeah.
smooth ride.
Yeah.
This would make a really good highway cruiser.
Now that's an iconic picture right there. That's the Will Rogers Coliseum, that tower. That's a Fort Worth.
Fort Worth landmark.
Fort Worth landmark right there. Yes, it is.
Car believes that there are 3 cars in front of us at this light.
Well, I believe it is correct. I concur.
Why didn't I concur?
I concur.
Oh, and this map is showing us the traffic backups on the side streets.
Oh
which
yeah,
is
that's nice to know.
Kind of nice to know.
Yeah.
Neat thing about those metal bars right there that I'm getting on the camera, that is kind of an artistic installation, but it is not an art installation. A tornado did that, and they said, that looks cool. Let's leave it that way.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Now your destination is on the left.
Oh, hey, it's giving us a measurement to the curb.
Cute.
Push in and put it in park. And then you just get out of the car, I think.
It's the speed limited to 85 miles an hour.
That's our demo of the Tesla Model Y. What'd you think?
Yay. Yeah, pretty fun. Fun to drive. Yeah, nice car. I mean, all of the EVs that I've ever driven are fun to drive. So that's not a question. It's a comfortable car. I do like the way the seats hug. I like the feel of the suede and the leather on the, you know, it's nice. You know, it's kind of luxury, which is not surprising considering the price. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice car.
The car did shut off when we got out of it all by itself. So
That was
that's
creepy though. I was like, how do you turn it off?
We're back in our Bolt on our way home, having finished up the demo ride of the Model Y, and just wanted to see if we had any final thoughts or anything about a comparison between that vehicle and this one. This Bolt is extraordinarily easy to drive. It doesn't have the level of autonomy that the Model Y did, and it won't do an automatic lane change on its own, and it doesn't have the adaptive cruise control, but it's extremely easy to drive and extremely smooth of a ride. The seats are probably a little bit more comfortable in the Model Y, right?
The Model Y is a more luxury experience, but this car is extremely comfortable. We've been on a lot of road trips on this car, and I love it. So I don't feel the need to trade it in anytime soon, personally, for me.
Now, one of the things that we noticed when we got under harder acceleration in the Model Y, we didn't get any wheel spin. We didn't get to the point where we spun the wheels at all. And just leaving the area where the service center was, I got on the accelerator a little hard in here and I spun the left front wheel.
That's something that happens both in this Bolt and also in our Fiat, that because they don't have all-wheel drive.
This vehicle and our Fiat are front-wheel drive, and physics is going to shift the weight under heavy acceleration off of the drive axles. It's going to push it to the back.
So you get a little wheel slippage, yeah.
But that Model Y was all-wheel drive.
Right, which is something I wanted to mention before. I kept comparing it to my Subarus, which are all-wheel drive, and so that's part of what lends it, part of what allows for that maneuverability and drivability and just nimbleness in general is that full-time all-wheel drive. It's part of what gives you confidence in your maneuverability, and the Model Y has that, whereas our other electric vehicles do not have full-time all-wheel drive.
Correct. And while they corner just fine and they handle twisty roads and even wet roads just fine.
They're not going to have the inclement weather confidence. We won't have the confidence in them in driving them in the inclement weather the way we do anything that has an all-wheel drive capability.
Right. Now, folks who live in different climates than us, we're in North Texas. We'll get a few days out of the year where we have to worry about snowy or icy conditions. And parts of the country that have to deal with that on a more regular basis through the winter are going to be used to just switching over to their snow tires at the change of the season. But here for 3 or 4 days worth out of a year, it doesn't warrant having an extra set of tires and rims just hanging around. We need a car that can just handle what we need to handle, because when we get that kind of weather here, it might stick around for a couple of days, but then it's gone and we're back to dry roads. And when we do get it, I think the deepest we've ever seen here is about 6 or 7 inches.
Yeah, and that's
of
extremely
snow.
rare.
And that is extremely rare.
Yeah.
We had that massive one a couple of years ago, but even that wasn't that deep.
Right. The bigger issue for us is more ice here, and it's hard because people aren't used to driving on it. We don't get it very often. You can't always see it. Most people don't have, the right kind of tires or the right kind of vehicle, so you end up with a lot of problems here during those rare ice storms. But it doesn't make sense to get a car that requires you to change tires or put on chains or anything like that.
So which is why we rely on our all-wheel drive vehicle for that, and that the all-wheel drive gives us more confidence in the rain and all of that.
Right.
Rain we do get frequently here.
Right, yeah.
But we wanted to experience the Model Y so that we could have a good comparison and kind of show you some of the difference. Yes, the Bolt feels a lot different. The car is not as luxurious. The seats aren't quite as comfortable, but the Bolt is still smooth like the Model Y. The Model Y is a more capable car.
Right, but you're also talking about much pricier
the price of the Model Y has come down. The Model Y standard range is back, or the Model Y all-wheel drive, and that has a starting price of around $47.5. So it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $19,000 more than the Bolt EV.
That's a lot of money to be spending.
But again, you're also getting, it's not just, there's a lot more equipment, there's a lot more amenities, there's a lot more software. It's a different kind of car, plus the charging network and all of that. But the Bolt is still a bargain, and it's a shame that GM's discontinuing it. We'll have to see what the Equinox brings when it comes out to see if it can fill that hole.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching, and we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into next.